All right, so after the weather madness the other night, we are on to Star Lake night number one here in Pennsylvania, and let's just get right to it. Party time, the opener. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to sign off on party time. Trey's up there, party time, party time. I'm whatever, man. Keep trying. ACDC bag, the unofficial opener, we'll go with here. And it's a nice ACDC bag, the first one of the summer, I believe. And then we get a 46 days in its natural spot, what feels like now here in the first set. That Birds of a Feather and 46 days, both really nice, but just felt like a little bit of a tease for this big monster that was to come. A quick stop into Bouncin in between there. And Bouncin wasn't too bad, actually. I've got our second Bouncin of the summer. Maybe it's going to be somewhat of a regular rotation Bouncin and then Stash. Like at some point, man, it was just like, it felt like, oh boy, early here. Maybe not early, but mid first set, we might get the big jam of the night. Just Trey and all four guys just ramming it down us, you know where. And then, so after Stash, which maybe it didn't have the longest length. These felt really brief, everything up until Stash. And I don't think it approached 20 minutes or anything like that. Not that longevity necessarily matters, but then we get into Leaves. Felt like, oh man, after this big hammer, then we're going to get down here to Leaves. Well, then Leaves coming through, doesn't show up often, but then when it does, once it gets to the jam, it kind of delivers maybe it should be played a little more, perhaps even Leaves. Maze and Bowie. Oh yeah, I'm sure giving people on. That's what I was thinking there. As soon as when they played Maze, and then over here with Bowie, I was like, oh no, giving every dork on social media just an opportunity to make a lame joke. I'm not going to do it, even though I did reference they played them both. I apologize simply for that. Then we get the Maze was hot, of course. Sense and Subtle Sounds, back-to-back shows, unfinished the other night. That's when all the weather came in. We'll take that to close the set. In fact, closing sets are really strong tonight with both Sense and Subtle Sounds and Ruby Waves. So the first set, getting back on track. Really, I was, okay, party time. Maybe it was like, uh-oh, what do we got here? Sigma Oasis opening up the second set. Really, all three of these, and Bowie and Cities. The final hurrah. Okay, on the whiteboard, it looks like it's one song. It is not. We got Sigma Oasis. Okay, we're gonna have to deal with it. It's pretty great every time, really. I still didn't think it reached Stash. Stash may have ended this whole sucker as the jam of the night, but Sigma Oasis was good. Final hurrah. They jammed that sucker out a little bit, and then it's on Pillow Jets. As the song's starting, it wasn't quite all. Here we go again with the Tab/Trey Phish debut song. Just jamming us up in the second set. It was okay. It was like, oh, this just falls in the okay category. But then it really started to jam. So really everything here. Sigma Oasis, Final Hurrah, on Pillow Jets. I saw where they sound checked that one. I believe they've sound checked it a couple of times now. And Paige mixing in some backing vocals there on that song. So worth checking out, I guess. And I'm sure we'll get another one before the summer's over. And then David Bowie, right in the middle of the second set for David Bowie, huh? All right, and then it had a Trey was teasing something right there, some kind of, oh man, I forget what it was now. I did not mark down a little note here. Something Trey was teasing that sounded really nice right as you're drifting into the Bowie jam. Cities, we're not getting a ton of summer covers this summer. Cities making an appearance here. Got a little jammed out, man. Pretty much everything here was jamming. Then Bowie has kind of the built-in natural Bowie jam. So taking a brief break from that for Cities. And that's really what can make a break or set, This On Pillow jams actually came through. They could have thrown a stinker here, a dud, or even something way too slow, but no. Cities keeping everybody going. Then into an unfinished Fuego, and then to Ruby Waves. Every time that song's going to get it done. And then even late in the second set, they just can't help but jam that thing. That was a lot of Trey, a lot of Trey. And then Character Zero, this was more Page, of course, Trey too, that guy just can't help himself. What does he think, he's the leader of the band or something? So then Character Zero, look at that, even going to get a check mark tonight. And then Slave to the Traffic Light, one of the best encore/closers they got. Just going all the way up right into the last minute. If you felt shortchanged the other night, which you shouldn't have, you couldn't have tonight. Pretty strong, I don't know. I'm gonna start comparing shows, but if we're getting a little bit of a reset here, definitely right there with Huntsville and Alpharetta. All right, Ruby Waves. What was Trey teasing there? You guys heard it. It was not Jean-Pierre tonight. All right. Stash, hammering it. That probably won the night, I think. Maybe Stash might have been our winner. It looks like an X. All right, guys. Boom. We are out of here. Star Lake, night one. You know, a lot of people thought Star Lake was going to be one of the shows of the summer. Turns out, I believe it was a pretty good show. The summer's not over. We still got that MSG run. Boy, if we're getting stuff like we got in Alpharetta and shows like this, what is in store at MSG? All right, guys. Boom. We are out of here. This time, I mean it.